Hello Cules, it's Pablo here and welcome back to Barca Universal. Barcelona are back in La Liga action now and face Real Betis this weekend at the Camp Nou. It's a home game and it's a must-win game for Barcelona. This one is absolutely non-negotiable. We've had a really tough and rough start to La Liga so far this season, as you all know, and we are not in a good position in the league. We're far behind. But a win tomorrow, which would be a big win against good opposition, will put us back on the right path. So let's go out there, let's get this win, let's get into the match preview. Because as I say, this one is going to be yet another home game for Barcelona, and it's actually in the afternoon over there in Catalonia, and it is a must-win game for Barcelona. It's more quality opposition coming over to the Camp Nou. We know a good amount about Betis. We know they can hurt teams. We also know we can hurt them when we go in the other way. So it should be a good game. There's plenty of quality on each team. It should be a fun watch, but for Barcelona, it's all about those 3 points. But let's start with ourselves here, Barcelona, the home team for this fixture, and well, let's start off by saying Barcelona have to win this match. It's a must-win game, it's non-negotiable. Barcelona have to be picking up the 3 points on Saturday afternoon, and it is another tough game, and like we always say, Barcelona start to the season, you know, it's not exactly been kind. Barcelona have had plenty of tough games, also at the Camp Nou, so we have to start winning some of them. We really do, you know, so many drop points already, and you look at the games like Alaves, they have to be won if you want to be winning La Liga, so Barcelona have some catching up to do. And a win tomorrow, you do feel, would lift the spirits before the international break. It's so important we win this victory. We've gone 4 games in a row now, dropping points in La Liga, and it's so imperative we win this match. It really is. Barcelona have to get some positive vibes, if you want, back in the squad, because even if it's not a pretty win, you know, you look at the Dynamo Kiev win, even if it's not that, you know, appealing on the eye, it's just important to get 3 points sometimes in football, especially at a club like Barcelona where you're expected to win. And I think we've seen so many times, even a poor victory can turn into a really good run of form for Barca. So it's so important to win tomorrow's game. That has to be in the forefront of the players' minds. But apart from all of that, you know, we know how important this game is. We know we've had a tough start to the season. We know Betis are, you know, quality opposition coming to the Camp Nou. But let's look at Barcelona a little bit more, because I want to delve in really to our team, our tactics, our setup, because I think I gave the team some stick on Wednesday evening, as I think many Barcelona fans did. And look, I think it's absolutely fair. I do, you know, I know we're in a transition of sorts. I'm a big fan of Ronaldo Koeman, I really am. I think I've said that on plenty of occasions now. I like how he behaves, how he runs the team. But I just think it's fair, you know, to question when things aren't going well, or when there are basic things that, for me, have to be changed. And look, we're not expecting fireworks immediately, but there's also no reason, like I say, to not just give and, you know, say when there are obvious errors in the team. You know, there's no point ignoring these things, in my opinion. So, for example, you look at our system and how it operates without the ball, I think, is what I'd say is the most important thing. And Koeman himself, you know, he has emphasised this. He says the team needs to improve. And I want to speak about a few things, because I criticised the team a little bit. But I think going into this game, it's so important we just tweak a few things and change some things in the style, because else it's going to be another really rough 90 minutes. I want to start with the defensive line almost, because I think it has to be more aware. If you're playing with players with the pace of Piqué, with Lenglet, even Jordi Alba, who's meant to be quick, but the guy doesn't really track back, you have to be more aware. The defensive line, it has to be in better condition, in better shape, and just more aware is the word I'd use, guys, because so many times Dynamo were just running in behind us. They ripped through us. That's an absolute fact. It just cannot be denied. How many times were they one-on-one with Ter Stegen? Honestly, how many times were a depleted Dynamo Kiev one-on-one with Ter Stegen? It was absurd, and that has to change. And I want to bring it back to the double pivot also, which is probably the thing I mainly want to talk about going into this game. If you're playing a double pivot with the likes of Busquets and Pjanic in it, for example, you cannot overpress, which they keep on doing. Our occupation of spaces simply has to improve in the defence, in the midfield, because I just do not want to see players like Busquets pressing way too high up the pitch. You know, I'm seeing players like Busquets go beyond Messi to press. That cannot happen. It unbalances the team, it leaves a massive space in the midfield, and that makes us lack clear structure in matches. It really does. It unbalances the team. It means that there are just gaps all over the pitch. And against Betis, you cannot do that, because like Dynamo, they've got good players, they've got quality, they've got pace on the wings and in behind. They will be able to hurt our defence and our midfield if we're leaving obvious gaps, if we're not in good shape, if we're not in a proper structure. And I wanted to pinpoint that, because I do back our attack to create opportunities, especially against Betis' defence, which probably isn't one of the best in La Liga. We should be able to generate a good amount of chances. And look, I think Koeman is trying to put a new print on the team. We look a little more unpredictable, if you like. We're getting a lot of shots on target, even from far out, and the chance creation, it's not bad at all. Of course, we need to start converting. The finishing needs to improve, but I want to talk about mainly that double pivot. I know it's new for Barcelona, but I just don't think if you play the two there, the two DMs, they cannot go too high up the pitch, and I think that's the number one rule that Koeman needs to start getting in the players. And if we do actually look out for the setup tomorrow afternoon, and this is what I've gone for, and this is what I think Koeman's going to go for. In goal, ter Stegen simply has to start. He was outstanding. We expect him now for the rest of the season, essentially, especially in La Liga and the Champions League. Left back, Jordi Alba, you'd expect. Right back, I've gone for Roberto. I don't really know how much Koeman trusts Serginho Dest right now, so I think we could see Roberto come back in. In the heart of defence, Piqué, for me, has to start next to Longley. Let's get those two back and hope they can get back to their top level. In midfield, I've put Busquets next to De Jong. I know many of you would like to see Pjanic, also Dest at the back. I can just see Koeman using Roberto and Busquets again, I really can, so that's why I've put them in my lineup. And then up front, I've gone for Pedri, I've gone for Ansu Fati, Messi and Griezmann. I think all this 11 is what Koeman trusts the most right now. I'm not saying this will be the team, but I think if we're predicting what Koeman will go for a game like this that we have to win, I think this is the 11 that he feels is best suited to play his system, to get the results, and I think these are the players he prefers the most right now. Look, I'm sure we all have our opinions about Dest at right back over Roberto, Pjanic in midfield over Busquets, even a player like Dembélé or Trincao up front instead of a Griezmann, for example, but I just think we're going to be seeing something like this. I wouldn't be surprised to see a few changes, maybe Dest, Pjanic, even Ousmane Dembélé, but I'm going to go for that. On to Real Betis then, our opposition for tomorrow's game, and there is actually quite a lot to discuss because Betis are an interesting team. But let's look no further than the fact that Real Betis tomorrow afternoon will be without Nabil Fekir. He is their main player, he's their star, he's got a great shot on him. We all know about Fekir, guys. He's a top quality player. He's at Real Betis, he's injured and will not play. It's just announced that he won't be going to France, for the international break. So, of course, he's no longer going to be taking part in this game either. And that has to be a positive for Barca. Yes, Betis are filled with quality. They really are. And the players coming in, it's no disaster for Betis, let's put it that way. But Fekir is their main man, you feel. In the quality department, that is going to be a bonus for Barcelona. His absence, he can create chances out of nothing. He's probably the one Betis look to get the ball to like we do for Messi. So I think for Barcelona, this is a bonus. But if we take a further look at our opposition, guys, they are now managed by Manuel Pellegrini, who is, of course, the former Manchester City manager. He also used to manage Malaga back in the day, and he got them to a Champions League quarter-final. So Pellegrini is a really good manager, and I think that's a good appointment for Betis. I really do. They've had some disappointing campaigns, especially since Setien left. And I think Betis now are starting to look up a little bit. I think Pellegrini's probably trying to change the atmosphere, the feel at the club right now, because I think we're used to seeing Betis have a lot of attacking threat in their side. They've got numerous quality players, and they've still got that. But I think we're also used to seeing them being, very open at the back. We think we can get a Betis most of the time we play them. And while that still may be the case tomorrow, I think it definitely will be. Let's get at that defence for sure. I do think Pellegrini, however, he is trying to shore up that defence. He's trying to maybe improve that system just a little bit more, just to make Betis not so inconsistent. They're still getting some poor results. They've still had quite, a dodgy start to the season. One game really good, one game really bad. That's kind of typical Betis. But I just get the feeling when I'm watching them that they are a little bit different, that Pellegrini is trying to put his print on this team. And I think that's interesting. But like I say with Betis, we're so used to seeing so much quality, and well, they will be coming up to the Camp Nou tomorrow with a really good team. That includes former Barcelona players, Bravo in goal, Emerson at right back, who's obviously on loan from us right now. They got Bartra in defence, they got Teo on the wing. They've got so much talent, Betis. They do. William Carvalho in there. You're looking at Sergio Canales, Sanabria, who's a striker I really like, Joaquin, of course, even Guido Rodriguez on the bench. They've got great talent, Betis, and I think they've underperformed in past seasons, but if they get it right, they can be a super dangerous team, and it's absolutely crucial that what I was talking about earlier with Barcelona in terms of positioning of the midfield, the defence, it has to be spot on from Barcelona, because I do back Betis to hurt us. And going the other way, it's all down to Barcelona's front four to hurt Betis themselves. I mentioned that Pellegrini's trying to shore up that defence, but like us guys with Koeman, it's not an overnight thing. Transitions do take time. So I think both teams definitely have weaknesses. So that is going to make it interesting. Prediction-wise, I've gone for Barcelona 2, Real Betis 1. I'm hoping Barcelona can just get over the line like we did against Dynamo Kiev. Look, we're looking for improvements. I want to see some changes, mainly in that positioning. I know I've emphasised it, but I really need to see that from Barcelona if the 4-2-3-1 is going to be sustainable as the season goes on. So let's see an improved Barcelona. That has to happen. I would back Betis to get on the score sheet, especially if we play stupidly at the back. They've got a lot of quality always, but I think we can get at their defence. I think we can, even if Pellegrini is trying to improve it. I look at it and I think Emerson, Alex Moreno, Bartra, Mandy, Bravo's got Old in goal as well. it's not the strongest defence. It doesn't, shout brick wall at me. So I think when we've got Messi, Ansu, Griezmann up there, if he has a good game, we could hurt that defence. So that's what I'm looking to see. And that's what we're going to wrap up this preview, guys. Please let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below for tomorrow's game, because for me, it's a really interesting one. It's a massive one for Barcelona, of course. It has to be a win. It's absolutely non-negotiable, that. So I'll see you guys for the match review of the game on Saturday afternoon/evening. So that should be an interesting one. Barcelona have to get 3 points, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Enjoy the game, enjoy the match preview, and goodbye.